Seema, do you have any experience in IT?
Yeah, I'm having 9 years of IT experience. From last 5 years, I have been working in a cyber technology. So I'm a cyber developer, having knowledge of PLS, SQL, Unix, C++, some little bit of data modeling.
Oh, that sounds good. And what about the Ronald?
I have about 10 years of experience in IT, most recently as a SQL DBA.
All right. So let me give my introduction to you. So I'm having 10 years of experience as a Oracle consultant. So I'm taking care of backend database, Oracle DBA, clustering of database. We call it something called rack environment, maintaining the database in environment, rack environment, and DBS implementation as DBA. Okay. So you already the Ronald know the SQL database, and Nasina is having the knowledge on the SQL and PLSQL statement, and maybe a little bit knowledge on Sybase database, maybe, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So here, database administrator. We know, like, we have to make the database servers must be up and running 24/7 as per the business application requirement. If something goes wrong, we have to make the database as it was before. That is the key responsibility for any DBA organization. So as an Oracle DBA, what's your responsibility? Okay. So from the implementation process, so you'll get a hardware. Most of the Oracle database will be on Linux platform. So Linux OS will be installed by Linux admin, or if you don't have the Linux admin, so Linux OS will be installed by Linux admin. If the Linux admin is not there, we have to install it. So at least the basic installation we have to know it. How to install the Linux OS, what are the mount points we need to create it, the partitions. Then we can go ahead with the installation. So we can install our Oracle binaries. So what are the pre-installation steps required to install the Oracle binaries on Linux? We have to know it. Once we install the Oracle binaries, how to create this machine as a database server. So here we have different methods, DBCS, manual, and ASL. So in the sessions I'm going to explain what are the different methods are available, what is the difference between this one. So as a DBA you have to know how to create database with different Oracle methods. So once the database is created, you need to understand the Oracle architecture. That will include two parts, the physical structure, its physical files. The Oracle database will have this file, parameter file, the log file, data files, and the password files. So its logical structure. So instance, I hope you know what is an instance. So it's a connection, some kind of memory you will get to access to your physical files. All users will connect to an instance. So we call here Oracle instance. So you need to understand what is an Oracle instance, how the user is going to get, how much the memory to access the database. I need to understand its background processes. Okay. So this is the Oracle architecture that will include two parts, physical and logical structure. So most important is this physical files. So each and every definition you need to understand for what purpose these physical files are there, for what reason the Oracle has generated these physical files. As a DBA, how you are going to take the backup. If it fails, how to restore these physical files. For performing the backup and restoration process, Oracle has own utility tools. We can use it. Import export statements, their data from technology, utility tools. remotely we can back up to our main. So with the help of this one, we can perform full complete database backup with some incremental, cumulative, particular schema level, and there are some table level backups. So these are the utility tools you need to understand it to perform the backups of the database. If the database fails, how to restore it. Okay. On the database side, how to create users, assigning privileges. So initially the developers are going to connect to your database. So once you create the username password, so database connection we need to establish it. So we call it here Oracle Network Services. From the server side, there is a listener configuration will be there that we need to configure, and that should be up and running. So it will establish the client and server communication. So on the client side, there is a TNS. Then the developer can put his username, password, and TNS name to connect to the database. He can perform his task, storing tables, columns, inserting whatever the statements he can use it. So listener service must be up and running. If the listener service goes down, the user will be disconnected from database. Now apart from this task, there is patches. In SQL database, we have hot fixes, we call it. So Oracle will release some kind of new patches, so you should know how to apply these patches to your existing environment. Upgradation. If a lower version is there, how to upgrade to a newer version. So you need to understand all the existing environment setup, what are physical files, okay, how you are going to upgrade it. So normally production servers we don't upgrade directly, we used to perform cloning of database. We prepare the same database on other machines for the testing environment. So there is online, offline cloning will be there. The same database will be available on other machine and will test here. Apply the patches and do the upgradation, then configure on your live production. Performing disaster recovery solution, so we call it a data guard. So data guard implementation means, let's say example, this database is available in California, one of the physical locations. If in that physical location there is an earthquake or the database server physically crash, maybe you'll have the backup, it will take time to restoration. So we can configure multiple locations, the same database. So this is some other location, let's say example New York. So same database will be available on other locations. So whatever the users are doing the transactions here on the primary, the same information will update on the secondary database. So keeping the database, same copies of database on multiple locations, that is called data guard. If the primary server goes down, the users will relocate to the secondary server. So there is no downtime will be there. So like this, we can implement 9 different locations. The same
Excuse
database.
me, I have a question here. So is the data card is related to some data replication kind of thing?
Yeah, data replication. So it's a data replication. The same information is going to be replicated on the secondary server. So we can configure 9 different locations, 9 servers in different locations. Okay. Any question here?
Yeah, we are good.
Yeah. So as a DBA, like these are the tasks you are going to handle it, how to shut down, and you need to understand the database stages, how you're going to start up shutdowns, there are different stages will be there. What are the scripts you have to run it to enable the features. Okay. So for our training purpose, we're having a small software, something called VMware, or you can use Oracle VirtualBox also. Without disturbing your Windows environment, we can use this one. So all the software which I'm going to use, I'm going to share with you, and the setup I'm going to do on your system initially. So I'm having nearly 50 to 60 operating systems.
So here one more that if you install this VMware, so will it have any expiry date, something like that, so we can use anytime?
You can use anytime. So whatever the links I'm going to share you, the VMware, the crack version will be there. It will be a permanent license. If you download from the VMware website, that will give 30 to 60 days trial version.
Okay.
So my link, you can use it. Okay. If a permanent key will be there, you can use it. Database is a trial version will be there. So on your laptop, it should be like minimum configuration 4 GB should be there and a 100 GB free hard disk space should be there. So you can practice all the scenarios on your laptop itself. Alright, so in this machine it's already installed. That's my home location. And this is my SID to access to the database. So this is the database physical file. It looks like this. .dba files, data files, control file .ctl files, and review log files .log files. That are database physical files. Okay. So in this session, this is a demo session. Just I have given an introduction. What is the DBA and what is the Oracle DBA will perform in the organization, the job. So data file location. Okay. So as a DBA, the initial knowledge, you should have a basic knowledge of Linux and all the commands. If you don't have, like I'm going to cover it, then you should know how to install Oracle binaries and create database with different scenarios, how to create users, how to configure the listener and TNS so an user can connect it, understanding its architecture, all its physical files definition. If it fails, all the physical files, how to restore it. So backup utility tools in different scenarios, how to apply patches, perform upgradation, cloning, understanding its data guard, data stages, and how to implement data guard and maintain. So overall, all the scenarios like you're going to manage the database. If something happened to database, you're responsible to restore the data as it was before. Is it clear, Nasima and Ronald?
Yeah, we are clear. So I have a couple of questions. So first thing is, so are we going to cover the server performance tuning, and which version of the Oracle so we are going to learn?
Yeah, performance tuning I'm not going to cover, so that's a separate course here. So I'm going to cover the Oracle version level G R1. So we are going to use level G R1 Oracle version here. For the performance tuning, there is a separate course there. So I'm not providing the Oracle DBA part.
Okay, got it.
And Ronald, do you have any question? Hello?
Yeah, will we be installing the data guard product also?
Pardon, I didn't understand. On the data guard part?
Yeah, is the data guard also included in the course? How to install it?
Yeah, everything. All whatever I have showed you, it's all installation, configuration, practically I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Data guard is a part of Oracle DB only. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so anyhow, my support team will forward you the course contents to you in detail, so you can go through the course content. And when we are going to start the session, so the support team will contact you. They will update you all the information. Okay.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, you can put an query to the support team, so we can answer your question.
Yeah, we get back to Jilani.
Yes, sure. All right. Thank you for attending, demo.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Hi, Narsimha and Ronald. Okay, thanks for your time. Please drop me a feedback email. Okay, and I'll get back to you offline. We'll discuss on it and we'll take a final call on this, Narsimha. Okay.
Okay, man. Okay.
Okay, good.